How you doing, my dear friends? Oh, so good to see you, man. I'm jamming over here. Hey, it's Dan, live in Oak Lawn. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Oak Lawn, Illinois. A place where everything blooms the way God intended for it to bloom. I don't know what I'm talking about. Hey, but what I do want to tell you is this. There's something about our belief in God, our belief in who he is, our belief in what God can do, that seems to be a factor when it comes to God's activity in our lives. Here, I'm going to read you something. This is from the book of Mark, chapter 11. This is Jesus. And Jesus was talking, and this is recorded. Mark 11, verses 22 through 24. Jesus says, "Have faith in God. I tell you the truth, you can say to this mountain, may you be lifted up and thrown into the sea, and it'll happen. But you must really, watch the word here, you must really believe it will happen and have no doubt in your heart. I tell you, you can pray for Jesus. I tell you, you can pray for anything, and if you believe that you've received it, it'll be yours." And then he goes on with some more. But the point that I want to highlight from that passage is the part about the belief. Jesus, he stressed that these extraordinary things are possible, like miracles are possible, but you and I must really believe. Our belief, he mentions it twice. He mentions belief twice. Now, this is not my idea. It's what he says. You just read it, or I just read it. I read it, you just heard it. Our belief becomes a factor. Now, I understand, I've been around for a while. And I know some people from a theological perspective get a little bit nervous. They get a little hesitant about passages like this because they're concerned that what gets communicated sometimes is the idea that it's our belief that actually makes the miracle happen. And I want you to know, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying, I don't believe that's true. I'm not saying, that's not the point that I'm making. It's God. It's God's power, not our power, God. This is about God, really. Also, some people I know have a little hesitation about passages like this one because they're concerned that what people will take from the passage is the idea that you could work this concept almost like it's a magic formula. Like God is almost like a genie here, and just force God to perform for us. I want you to know, I don't believe that either. That is not at all what I'm saying. God, he's not a pawn who's subject to our whims. Not at all. However, clearly, according to Jesus, again, this is what he said, according to Jesus, our belief plays some role in what happens. God wants us to believe in him. In fact, you could even put it this way. He wants us to participate with him in terms of bringing our beliefs to bear. God wants us to believe that there are possibilities that exist, that would not exist, couldn't exist without him. And so I think it's worthwhile, I think it's important and helpful for us to consider this issue, to think about this issue of our belief in God and who he is and what he can do. Do you believe, your beliefs, really, do you believe God is able? Do you believe that God is sufficient for whatever it is that you're facing? What do you really believe? Do you believe that God can do things that would qualify as miraculous? In our natural world, this would be considered a miracle. Can God do something like that? What is possible with God? By the way, Jesus' answer to that question went something like this: with God, all things are possible. So I'm going to be talking about this and old dry bones that Ezekiel saw and other fun things at the First Church of God tomorrow, April 30th, Sunday, April 30th. You're welcome to come and join us if you'd like. If you're in the Chicago area, actually, I'd say if you're in a 150 to 200 mile radius, get in the car right now and get over here. It's going to be fantastic. First Church of God, 4600 West 111th Street. We're just just a couple blocks off of Cicero Avenue on 111th Street, just east of Cicero. You're saying, but Dan, what are the service times? So glad that you asked. See, I can anticipate what you're asking. The service times are Sunday, I had to think about it for a minute there, 9 a.m. or 11 a.m. Come on and join us. Come on. We'll be partying sort of like this. You know what I'm saying? Anyhow, come and join us. You'll be blessed.